Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me on this capstone session of our certification course in BPM, Business Process Management, and the human aspects of change management, which obviously goes well beyond simple process management and continuous improvement. As you've learned throughout this series, all of the aspects of change and change management are really quite a fascinating area for us as leaders in our organizations to be thinking about how we want to navigate change, how we can help an organization navigate through some of the more difficult and easier aspects of change, some of the quantitative elements related to change and change management, anticipating what may be around the corner, so to speak, as we're going through a change initiative, and of course, being able to manifest change at the individual level of an organization. So today we're going to do a quick recap of the entire session, pull out some of the highlights as well, and emphasize key takeaways for you to bring back to your teams. Everyone who has participated with us through the series will receive their certification as a BPM and change management professional, certification from the Pendolino Group. Congratulations on reaching this milestone. And thank you again also for your active participation, the questions that you've brought forward, and how you've contributed to this conversation. Let's go ahead and get started and take a look at what our recap is going to focus on. So again, around HR, dealing with the human resources aspects, change management, and the optimization of teams, what we covered was the realization that it really is nearly impossible to avoid resistance to change when we're in business. Things change all the time. Our goals change, the market demands change, the way that we do business, our processes change. There is a constant environment of change around us. And so in that context, what we focused on was how we could really leverage the types of barriers and the types of resistance that might come up as we're navigating through and are helping individuals make their journey through change and be part of a larger organization, a larger vision. What we really focused on was how we can leverage those types of things and use that to overcome resistance that may naturally occur inside of the organization. One of the things also, as you've been going through this series, there are a number of tools that you've received. I hope that you've been able to put some of those to use, and definitely have appreciated your feedback as well on how those tools have helped you migrate and navigate for your organization. Whether it's a small change initiative, introducing a new system, for example, or a new piece of software, a new tool, a new program, or if it's a large-scale change, really having to reshape the direction of the business. In all of those cases, I've had feedback from you of examples of how you've been able to leverage the tools that we've provided and really had success with that. So from that standpoint, again, successful change is often referred to as the crown jewel of organization management. When we can successfully navigate through change and lead organizations and lead individuals through that, it truly is a gem to be treasured. From that perspective, remember that the nature of change and change management continues to evolve. So from that, one of the things that we did as we were going through this particular session is that we covered off on 10 key principles and stages of successful change management. So let's take a quick look at what those are in the context. So of course, we emphasize that historically, the desire is there for most organizations and people to have stability, something that is marked by steady and predictable growth. In that, what we've discovered is that market transparency, pricing pressures, global labor markets, capital flows on a global basis, and even instant communication, social media, for example, really have blown out that comfortable scenario and have caused us to live in an environment in most industries where there is global heightened competition that takes place and a very unfamiliar territory of change that's come about. So from that perspective, what we visited was that many successful companies, and this is one of those areas where as you look at your organization, you consider the types of things that you're doing, how your team is operating. Many successful companies, they actually develop this culture that just keeps moving all of the time. That is a hallmark of successful organizations today. And so in the world of leadership and managing teams, the human side of change management becomes truly important for us as leaders in the organization, and recognizing that we need to be managing at the individual level. So from that standpoint, that is where our focus has been. And as you are navigating through change and you're thinking about how you're progressing, where there may be areas for you to deepen your effort and also areas for you to bring in additional resources to help move an organization forward. These are some of those primary areas to be focused on. What are you doing in the area of leadership development, coaching senior leadership, developing the skill set for more junior managers who are coming into the organization or being placed in management positions maybe for the first time in their careers? What are some of the things that you're doing in the area of compensation and benefits, and those elements where we know that attention goes to where the compensation flows? So from that standpoint, what are the things that you're doing in the world of compensation and total rewards, those areas that are drawing people's attention? Also in performance and performance management, and engaging your organization, engaging people on the team, setting goals, providing feedback, your hiring practices, hiring ahead of the curve to your future desired state, as we say. And ultimately, of course, what does that strategy look like? What does your strategic vision look like? And how are you engaging people in that vision proactively, actually using methodologies that pull people in to the creation of that vision so that there is that personal ownership in that? So from that standpoint, some of the elements that we took a look at, again, and a reminder for you as you're measuring success, is how holistic is your perspective. As you are looking at change and change management, you want to be sure that you're stepping back and you're taking a holistic view. A holistic view that includes your organization structure. It includes the skills of the organization, the shared values. It includes the vision for the organization, the capabilities of the team, the systems that you're utilizing, the processes where work gets done. So stepping back and always consistently challenging yourself in that aspect as a change management professional. Now, from that standpoint, we also took a deep look at how change occurs as a very personal experience. And this is one of those elements that the truly successful professional, and those of you who have gone through this certification now, will have a deep appreciation for. Change happens at the individual level. While we speak to a very broad vision, for example, it is not until you get the individual bought into that vision and understanding and really, really attached to their why and how they contribute to that vision that change can truly take place in an organization. Remember in our last session that we spoke of an organization is simply a collection of individuals. And so it's with that knowledge that change occurs at a very personal level. It is a personal experience. It's with that knowledge that you will be highly successful as a change management professional. Remember that great things never came from comfort zones. And so it does mean that you will intentionally be inviting people to step out of their comfort zones, and you'll be coaching them and guiding them along the path in doing that. And you have all of the tools to do that now as a result of having gone through this course. Keep in mind also that there are some phenomenal frameworks that are out there. We went through quite a few in our sessions. From this standpoint, I love this one. This one is one that really does help to sort out where is an individual on their own personal journey. And from this perspective, what are some of the things that we can do to help move them forward? How do we keep people engaged as they go through the trough of depression? How do we keep them engaged on that path so that we move them through into acceptance and ultimately moving forward? How do we keep people on the path if they're starting to feel afraid or fearful or threatened in their own position? And what do we do in terms of turning on the switch, providing that link, again, back to the vision. Do we have the vision? Do we have a clear action plan? Do we have the skills? Do we have the resources? Are we making those available? Is it strongly clear what the why is? So these are many of the things that we've covered and that you now have in your fingertips, at your fingertips and in your toolkit to be able to bring to Aspect. So here are some of the key pieces that we went through as a reminder. First, addressing the human side systematically, truly thinking methodically about change. It is a journey, and change also is ongoing. So it never lets up. We're always being drawn forward by the vision. Starting at the top of the organization, making sure that you've truly developed that relationship with the senior most management in the organization, the senior leaders in the organization, that you are influencing at that level, and you have the power to do that now as a professional certified change management manager professional. So from that standpoint, now you're positioned to be able to involve every layer. As I mentioned, involving people early on, people own what they help to create. So you want people involved in the conversation as quickly as possible. That conversation around the vision, the core values, what the business looks like, how they contribute to it. So be generous with that and how you involve people in those methodologies, and you will see radical and very fast change take place in your organization to the better. Making the formal case. Remember that you do need to build a strong case. Why change? And ideally, you're building this case before crisis hits. It's in times of crisis that obviously change will often happen very fast, although it's reactive. And that's not the type of change that you're going after as a certified professional. What you're going after is a very methodical, well thought out, vision-driven change for an organization, continued growth and evolution, staying ahead of the game, and creating the ownership throughout so that people take on what it means to be a continuous improvement organization, to be an organization that is pulled forward by its vision, and they are proactively looking for ways to contribute to that. Now, in addition to that, we took a deep dive into how to communicate the message, the importance of communication, the importance of the cadence of communication, and doing that on a very methodical basis, along with assessing the cultural landscape. We have to know where we are and have an appreciation for where we're going so that we can truly draw a map or maps to get there. Because remember that some of the things that are critical for us to be successful in change management include addressing the culture explicitly, looking at it directly, speaking to that sometimes considered softer aspect, plus preparing for the unexpected. Remember that there are many ways to get to the same location. And so we want to build, as change management professionals, we want to be building plan A, plan B, plan N, plan O, plan P, all of those. We keep planning and preparing for the unexpected. Ultimately, all designed to speak to the individual and affect change at the individual level. So you have all of these pieces in your toolkit now. From that standpoint, what I'm looking for and hoping for you is success as you continue to navigate with your organization forward. Whether it's a program, whether it's introducing a new performance management system, whether it is documenting processes and rolling out a new software to help manage your BPM, whether it is a large-scale change, an organization redesign, a shifting of your market focus. Regardless of the scale, remember it all starts at the individual level. And it's through that focus, that intentional focus, and focusing around the recognition that when you take culture and you apply change management to that, that you will fundamentally and powerfully shift the productivity, performance, and the profit of your organization. So from that standpoint, as we went through this session, we had a number of open discussion forums, a number of questions that were raised, powerful, powerful questions. And again, I appreciate your active participation in this series. Congratulations on the completion of going through our change management certification for BPM and for human resources. As we look forward, many of you have requested a new series focused around radical leadership. What does it look like to lead in this new year? What does it look like as a new leader, as an individual who is stepping into the aspects of leadership for the first time? What does it look like to be a seasoned leader? How do you keep that flame alive, that spark alive for yourself as a leader and for your organization? Whether, again, it's a team, a project, or an entire global organization. How do you keep that spark alive? What does radical leadership look like? So we will be kicking off a new series on the radical leadership for the new year. And in this series, we will be doing a deep dive into all of those aspects of leadership. What does it look like? What is the changing nature of work? How do we build a new level of commitment and engagement in a work environment where the employer-employee contract has been shattered? How do we transform cultures as leaders? We'll be going through all of those aspects together in our next series topic, which will kick off very shortly. In the meantime, be thinking about how to systematically address the human side of engagement and organization success, and be prepared to learn how to leverage those anticipated and those unanticipated dynamics that will help accelerate your organization. My name's Diana Willis. It has been an absolute pleasure to be on this journey with you. Congratulations on the completion of this certification series. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me directly at info@pendolinogroup.com or diana@pendolinogroup.com. You'll be able to find this information in our learning environment, and it is available for any of your colleagues that you believe could benefit from this same certification. I look forward to seeing you in our next series. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.